I'm not even gonna make an intro. I'm just gonna get straight into this because I'm super excited to show you guys the new truck. I already have a bunch of tarps in the back, but don't mind that. I'm kind of just using it as storage right now. So this is a 1985 Nissan 720. This is an ST version, so it's the sport truck. What the ST means, for those of you who don't know, it's just the trim level. That's really all it is. It's not like it comes with anything really sportier besides the trim. It comes with the same engine as all the other trucks. It comes with the same rear end as all the other trucks. It comes with the same everything. Drivetrain wise, it's just this one has individual buckets, whereas some come with benches, a bunch of little stuff like that. I was lucky enough to find this one up in Bakersfield, about 3 hours from where I live. So went there early in the morning, left my house like 4 in the morning, went, picked it up, drove back like 3 hours home, up and down hills with traffic, everything. Didn't overheat, didn't skip a beat. It ran perfect, flawless. I had no issues there. The truck is pretty clean and is pretty stock for the most part, which is kind of what I wanted. I didn't want a truck that had already been messed with someone else. That's just kind of how I am. I rather buy a original vehicle, that way I know what's been done to it as far as aftermarket things. So I was able to find this one in pretty stock shape. It has 127,000 original miles. It's clean title. Now the only mods, I guess you can call them, that have been done to this is it's got 3-inch lowering blocks in the rear. It's got a little exhaust. I want to say it's just a muffler delete, but don't quote me on that. I know it's got a cap. Supposedly the guy that I got it from states it passes smog. It's got a brand new cap. It also has some sort of aftermarket wheel, which at first I didn't like, but after driving with it for about 3 hours, I don't mind it so much. I still want to try and find the original ST wheel, that way I can throw that one in and have this one as a backup. But yeah, the truck is pretty clean and a good starting point for what I want to do. I want to build a 720. I've always wanted to. I don't know if you guys remember this, for the super OG subscribers, when I had my 85 tan 720. I always wanted to build a cool mini truck, but at the time I was 14. I didn't really have much money. I was going to high school, well, about to go to high school, and obviously I couldn't build the truck that I wanted, so I ended up selling that. Ended up picking up my red 720, which I'm sure a few of you guys have seen, the one that got stolen and got totaled, which was a huge bummer. But I like to stay positive and think that if it wasn't for that truck getting stolen, I would have never been able to get my hands on one of these. So I think that what happened was not so much a good thing, but like I always say, everything happens for a reason. And if that truck would have never gotten stolen and totaled, I would have never had the opportunity to buy this truck, since I would have been too deep into building the other one. Now I still don't know how crazy I want to get with it, but I do want to build an 80s mini truck like I've always wanted to. But like what I'm saying is I don't want to get too crazy. I don't know how crazy I want to rip out the interior, cut out the rear firewall. I don't want to get too crazy since this truck is still pretty stock for the most part. So I think I'm just gonna see how it goes, I guess. I do want to lower it, however, I already have all the parts that I need to lower it how I want to. My goal with this one is to lower it and still be super comfortable, unlike my hard body over here, which my original plan was just to lay frame static, which it is laying frame for those of you who don't know. So I guess you can say I'm taking a different approach than I am to my other trucks that I have in the past. I actually want to make this one drive nice. Now, I've already been on the hunt for a couple of parts, but I know that if I tell you guys on here, then I know you guys would be able to help me. I figured if I let you guys know what I'm looking for, maybe it'd be easier if you guys can help me find what I need. So currently the parts that I'm looking at that I need to find is I would love to find the sunroof cover that clips in there. That is supposed to be back here. So sadly this truck didn't come with one. It did from the factory, but I don't have one. So I'm trying to get my hands on one of those. If it's a brown interior, that would be awesome. I did already get my hands on the center console. I already have the little dash under tray, so I got those parts. I do need this because this is very ghetto. I have a zip tie holding the rear windows, the sliders together, so I would like to get the latch for that if anyone has that. It'd be super dope to get my hands on that. This is one of my favorite parts about the ST, is that you got the RPMs on the right and you got the clock on the left. And you got the gauges on the center console, oil pressure, and battery voltage. Everything works on this truck surprisingly, so that is a huge plus. It's also got the tilt steering column. You guys already know I had to get the 5-speed. Can be riding around in automatic. Not that there's anything wrong with the automatic, just personally I think the manual is a lot, I guess you can say it's just funner in general. And then I also need one of these bumper lights. As you can see, previous owner lost it, so he put a clear one. I kind of do like the clear. It does give it a more cleaner, I guess a cleaner look, but I want to get the original red ones back in there. So I know with time I'll find all the little nits and bits that I can get my hands on, but until then we have to just roll with what we got. Now this is one thing that bugs the crap out of me. You can see the difference in the orange. The previous owner told me he didn't know what went on, but I could only assume what went on. Got a little fender bender, so obviously this fender was resprayed, and the top half of this door, which is pretty strange, but the bottom of the door is the same as the rest of the truck. It's just the top half, you can see that the orange peel is way more than the factory paint job over here. So what I'm assuming is it got a little ding on the top of the door, and rather than replacing it, it just got fixed and then got painted. So those two things bugged the crap out of me. So I do want to get the truck repainted, but it goes back to the same thing. Since this truck is original, I don't know how crazy I want to get with it, because it's got the decals in the back, and I know I cannot get my hands on the OEM decals. I know people make decals, but I honestly don't even want to waste my money on people's decals, because this decal has lasted 35 years and it's in pretty decent shape. It's got scratches obviously from people hitting it and doing stuff like that, but it's lasted 35 years. The vinyls that everyone sells, they're gonna last 2 years max, if that. So I'd rather not even deal with that. So I'm thinking maybe taping it off and trying to respray around that, or figuring out another option, because I would like to keep these original, but at the same time you can see that there is a bunch of clear coat peeling everywhere, which is, you know, to be expected. So that kind of bugs me, but like I said, this is a project. I was not expecting to just hop in and be ready to go. Another thing that someone added were these fender mirrors, which when I was 12 I used to think were cool, but now it's like, why would you ruin it like that? Like, so yeah, gotta grind this down, weld that shut, grind it flat, and then we can go from there with a paint job. We'll figure out what we're doing. I've been slowly trying to clean up the interior little by little every day. I come out here in the afternoons once I get out of work, try to clean it up as best as possible. But this was a farm truck, so it is completely dirty. You can see a shout out to 720 Era for hooking me up with a nice little dash mat. Cleaned up the dash a lot. I know for a fact that most of you guys out there have a cracked dash, so you can for one, cover it with a dash mat, or if you're lucky enough to get a truck that doesn't have a cracked dash, then you can preserve it by getting a dash mat. So I'll have his Instagram down in the description below. He's got a bunch of 720 gear that I think you guys might enjoy if you guys are into 720s. So yeah, as far as wheels, I think I want to keep the factory 14 ST, but with time we will see. Maybe I'll get some 15x8s, maybe some 15x10s. I would like to lay frame with this truck, possibly bag it, 4-link it, do all that fun stuff. As far as engine goes, I would show you guys, but it's a bone stock Z24, factory carb, factory exhaust manifold, factory everything. It does have a new card, but it is a factory replacement. I do need a front bumper, so I'm going to need to find one of those, since someone's rear-ended someone with this thing. So it's definitely going to need some work, but that's what it's all about. I'm excited to have a project. Yeah, I hope you guys are excited to come along with the 720 build. I've been wanting to build one of these for quite a while, and now that I'm in a position where I can build one, it's going to come out sick. Now I do have a couple of projects in the works, so this isn't going to be a very fast build that's going to be, you know, done in a month. It's going to take a while, just like all my other cars. Still got to get this one back up and running, get the drift car running, and then the truck obviously over there. But yeah, I already have about 4 meets that I got lined up that I'm going to be going to. Since my dad really likes mini trucks, I was thinking maybe he could whip this to the meets and I could whip that to the meets. So if you guys ever do see me at any of the meets, come say what's up, let's talk, show me your trucks. I want to see you guys' projects. And if you guys have your projects going on at home, I really appreciate when you guys send me your pictures of your trucks, because obviously it's cool to see the younger generation coming back up, especially with mini trucks, are, in my opinion, they're coming back to life again. So these things were popping in the 80s and 90s when obviously I wasn't alive, since I'm about to be 20, so it's not like I was even around anywhere near that time. But just looking back at that, it makes me want to wish that I was a teenager during the 80s and 90s. So I kind of want to not relive, because I never lived in that, but I kind of, you guys know what I mean, I want to relive the 80s again with my truck. It's cool to see that I'm not the only one. I know there's a bunch of us who are young and are just getting into the game, and I know there's a lot of us who are also older than me that were into these trucks back in the day that are getting back into the game, which I think is honestly super cool. One thing I have noticed though is, out of all the car communities and everywhere that I've been around, I gotta say that the mini trucks are where it's at. Everyone that I've talked to, everyone that I've met is super humble, and it's never about, oh, my truck is better than yours, oh, this is better than yours. It's all about, oh, that's cool, you did that, look what I did, this is how I did mine, or you asking questions, super friendly. Whereas if you're in the drift car community, everyone always thinks they're the best, they drift the best, everyone thinks they're the best, and anywhere else. With muscle cars, I feel like that's kind of the vibe you get. But I feel like with mini trucks, it's just a whole different realm. Everyone is just super nice, super chill, and it's cool to just meet different people. So if I do ever go to any meets, I usually post it all on my Instagram. That way we could all cruise, just because I think it's super fun to just cruise with, you know, 10, 15, 20, a bunch of mini trucks just rolling down the highway to the meet. I think that's super fun. So if you guys ever want to come to any mini truck meets in SoCal or even out of state, tag me in them, and we can go cruise over and have some fun. I hope you guys are as excited as I am to be back in a 720 and to build it. I know I have a lot of subscribers on this channel that are into 720s, so I think this will be definitely a cool build, because I know that you guys will be able to use some of the information from this build. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace out, guys.